New information on a 4-year-old homicide case. More than $1 million worth of jewelry stolen, and a high-speed chase finally comes to an end.
We will have all that and more on this episode of APSU TV News.
Welcome back to your APSU TV News. I'm Baylor Betts.
And I'm Wyatt Imbush. We have new information on a 4-year-old homicide case. Federal agents have located and arrested a lead suspect in connection with the death of a man near Austin Peay's campus. On October 28, 2019, CPD responded to reports of shots fired near Hand Village Avenue. Upon arrival, they discovered 22-year-old CDE Brown had been shot. Despite receiving medical attention, he tragically succumbed to his injuries at the hospital, according to a press release from the U.S. Marshals Service. In response to this incident, a warrant for the arrest of Trinity Rossell was issued on June 4, 2024. Rossell was wanted for first-degree murder and aggravated robbery in connection with Brown's death. On September 24th, the case was adopted by the U.S. Marshals Middle Tennessee Fugitive Task Force. With assistance from the Two Rivers Violent Fugitive Task Force, investigators developed leads that suggested Rossell was in the Memphis area. On October 17th, agents from the Two Rivers Task Force, aided by the Shelby County Sheriff's Office and Memphis Police, located Rossell in a residence in Memphis. He was placed under arrest without incident. Initially, Rossell provided false information about his identity, but later cooperated with investigators. He was then taken to Shelby County Detention Center. This arrest marks a significant step in the ongoing investigation into the tragic death of CDE Brown.
More than $1 million worth of jewelry was reported stolen from a store in Nashville's Woodbine area, and investigators say they believe 2 people captured in another state are connected to the theft. Police say the armed robbery happened last week at a Dubai jewelry store on Nolensville Pike. The store's owner told WKRN-TV 2 people came into the building browsing for jewelry. 5 minutes later, a man entered the store holding the employees at gunpoint. Miami Beach police arrested 34-year-old Orlando Valdez Hernandez and 38-year-old Melanie Garcia on Sunday. Police are still looking for the 3rd person in the case. Give the police a call if you have any information that might help. A house burned down early Sunday morning, and the flames were so intense firefighters say nearby homes were damaged. Clarksville now reports several units from the Montgomery County Fire Department and the Fort Campbell responded to the burning home on Deer Stand Drive in Woodlawn just before 1:30 in the morning. No injuries were reported, and the Red Cross is in contact with the family to provide assistance.
2 men are now behind bars after a dramatic high-speed chase that spanned multiple counties starting in Hopkinsville, Kentucky on October 18th. The 24-year-old driver was initially stopped for having a non-illuminated license plate on East 13th Street. Instead of pulling over, he reversed into a police patrol vehicle and fled the scene. According to police reports, officers pursued the vehicle through several neighborhoods and onto East 9th Street, eventually entering the Pennyrile Parkway ramp heading onto I-24. During the chase, the driver ignored traffic signals and attempted to ram several police vehicles off the road. The pursuit continued into Clarksville, where both the driver and his passenger abandoned the car and fled on foot, leaving the vehicle unattended. The car ultimately crashed into a residence on Pembroke Place. Unfortunately, officers were able to detain both suspects shortly after. Authorities later discovered they were both convicted felons. They now face a total of 12 charges, including fleeing from police, reckless driving, drug trafficking, possession of a firearm, criminal mischief, and speeding. The Hopkinsville Police Department received assistance from multiple agencies, including the Christian County Sheriff's Department, Oak Grove Police Department, Montgomery County Sheriff's Department, Clarksville Police Department, and the Tennessee Highway Patrol. CPD is seeking the public's help to identify a woman who allegedly spent over $1,000 in counterfeit cash at Walmart. The incident occurred on October 19th at approximately 3:50 p.m. at the Walmart located on Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. The suspect used counterfeit bills to purchase items totaling to around $1,100, according to CPD spokesman Scott Bobin. Video surveillance captured images of the suspect, and detectives are now reaching out for assistance in identifying her. If you have any information or additional video footage related to this case, please contact Officer Jay Barnes at 931-648-0656, extension 5781. For those who wish to remain anonymous and potentially earn a cash reward, tips can be submitted online at Clarksville Montgomery County Crime Stoppers website or by calling the tip line at 931-645-8477.
A man wanted for a long list of crimes in Montgomery County is back behind bars after trying to run from the police. Deputies say Kenneth Ray Self was wanted in Montgomery County for multiple burglaries, driving on a suspended license, and drug charges. When deputies reported to pick up Self, the longtime offender reportedly took off running. The arrest report says the deputy said he saw the 49-year-old holding something dark in his hand as he turned the corner near the home. Moments after, Self was tased by the deputy due to not immediately surrendering at the scene. Direction of Correction officials say Self has an extensive criminal history. He has convictions dating back to 2003, including burglary, evading arrest, and possession of drugs. The impact of young voters in the 2024 election is enormous. Young people on both sides of the political divide say many of their classmates have voted or are planning to vote. WKRN-TV spoke with students from Vanderbilt University and Belmont University, and they discussed that there are numerous voters registration events on campus, adding they have been able to have civil debates and discussions in difference of political beliefs. A recent Harvard youth poll found about half of young voters will vote in person on Election Day this year. This is about 1/3 than the last presidential election in 2020. The study also found nearly 4 in 5 young Americans vote what their friends do. More than 150,000 votes have been recorded in Nashville today. Stay with us for the weather right after the short break.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro.
Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. As veterans, we can tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. But you've never been interested in easy. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey everyone, I'm Jasmine Logan, and welcome back to the Political Corner. As the war between Russia and Ukraine continues, thousands of North Korean troops have been training at different military sites in Russia. North Korea has been supplying Russia with weapons during the ongoing conflict due to their defense agreement requiring military reinforcements if the other was attacked. 8,000 of the North Korean troops are stationed at Russia's shared border with Ukraine. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the troops have not been attacked, but we should expect them to soon. Blinken also says there will be more aid for Ukraine soon. The U.S., South Korea, and Japan all condemn any deployment of North Korean troops against Ukraine. The war in the Middle East continues as Israel, Hezbollah, and Gaza refuse to back down. The United States continues to urge them to end the attacks. The U.S. proposed a 2-month-long ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah, requiring Israel to retreat from Lebanon and for Hezbollah to remove its arms from the border. The U.S. also proposed a month-long ceasefire in Gaza, requiring Hamas to release 10 hostages. More humanitarian aid would also be sent to Gaza. However, Hamas refuses until Israel completely retreats from Gaza. But Israel's prime minister insists they maintain control over the territory. With less than a week until Election Day, the presidential candidates are ramping up their already busy schedules. Today, Vice President Kamala Harris is in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, while former President Donald Trump is making stops in North Carolina and Wisconsin after speaking in Pennsylvania last night. Our Washington correspondent, Julia Benbrook, has the White House with the latest.
Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are locked in a tight race.
We have just 6 days left in one of the most consequential elections of our lifetime.
Next Tuesday, you have to stand up and you have to tell Kamala that you've had enough.
The race will likely come down to the 7 battleground states, states that could conceivably be won by either candidate.
Oh, it's great to be back in Michigan.
If we win Pennsylvania, we're going to win the whole deal.
The battleground states can be broken up into 2 general categories. The Sun Belt battlegrounds include Arizona and Nevada in the west, and North Carolina and Georgia in the east. Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina used to be more reliably Republican. Then there's the Midwestern battlegrounds, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, part of the so-called Blue Wall. These 3 states used to be more reliably Democratic, but flipped for Trump in 2016, then swung back for Democrats in 2020.
The advantage for Trump, he probably only has to win one of those 3 former Blue Wall states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, or Wisconsin, in order to win. She, in all likelihood, I think will have to sweep them, but that is totally within her power to do.
Recent polling shows Harris maintains a narrow advantage in 2 of those 3 closely watched Blue Wall states. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
In Oregon and Washington state, drop boxes containing voters' ballots have been attacked. The suspects set fires to the ballots using an incendiary device. The man suspected is believed to have experience with metalwork based on how the devices were made and attached to the drop boxes. Authorities say he may be planning more attacks in the future. The devices were marked with a very clear message. Quote, "Free Gaza," end quote. Authorities are investigating whether the message was genuine or if it was used as a distraction. The suspect destroyed hundreds of ballots in Vancouver. Election officials sorted through the charred ballots, hoping to identify everyone who needed a replacement ballot, but at least 6 voters could not be identified. Voters in the affected areas are encouraged to check the status of their ballots. Well, that's all I have for you guys today here in the Political Corner. Stay tuned for the weather after this short break.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
thanks for sticking with us for the weather. I'm Michael Dangerfield. Looking at our current national temperatures, we have a pretty warm day as we start the first day of November. The lowest is Chicago at 53 and Denver at 62. And the highest is surprisingly at New York, which is also on a red flag warning for their critical fire weather conditions to be expected. Sitting at our southern eastern region at Atlanta, it's 75, but if you felt this morning today, it definitely was cold, but looking at the 5-day forecast through the weekend, it gets a little bit warmer. Looking at today's highs, we have a partly cloudy, 67 degrees. Like I said, it was pretty cold in the morning. A little bit of chance of wind speeds and 1% chance of rain. And tonight's temperature, we still have partly cloudy skies, a pretty chilly low mid-50s, 4 mile wind speeds and no % chance of rain. And then 5-day forecast, we have a pretty chilly Friday, but Saturday and Sunday, Monday, we creep up into the mid-70s and high 70s. It's going to be all partly cloudy, and then Tuesday we have a little bit of expected rain. That's all I have for today's local and national weather. APSU will be returning after this break with our campus sports.
Wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you as you bring our colorful stories to the world.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Yeah! Sam, Elmo! Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm gonna play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum.
Drum loud. Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia. Julia knows. With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music.
Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
Happy November! I'm Hugh Wheeler with the latest in Clarksville sports. Austin Peay announced Wednesday they will not be renewing indoor and beach volleyball head coach Taylor Mott's contract. The change in leadership will be made effective immediately with the assistant coach Connor Crawford taking the interim role. Director of Athletics Gerald Harrison said, quote, "She has taken both of our volleyball programs to new heights, and we wish her and her family nothing but the best going forward," end quote. The decision comes a day after the Govs fall to 1-21 on the season with 20 straight losses. Coach Mott won 5 conference titles across 21 seasons as coach of both programs. Austin Peay's homecoming football game was last week. My apologies. Jerome Knight and William West covered the game and has the highlights.
The Austin Peay football team played their homecoming game this past Saturday on October 26 against Tarleton State. The Governors came up short to Tarleton State 27-17, even though at one point in time the game was all tied up 17-17. The Govs' offense just couldn't get going, while the defense played very well, coming up with 3 turnovers. The Govs fall to 3-5. This Saturday they played North Alabama. We sat down with Coach Ferris and talked about last week's game.
You know, I couldn't be more impressed with the crowd. You know, it was so fun. What an environment we had here at the fort. It was packed. People were here hours in advance tailgating, and our guys played really, really hard. It's not the outcome. We're never satisfied with a loss, but really, really impressed with the environment and our players' effort.
We also got to talk to starting wide receiver Ramon Copeland, who had 73 receiving yards and a rushing touchdown last Saturday.
It hurt. I'm not gonna lie, it hurt only because we knew we should have won that game, and just turnovers and our mistakes was what cost us. But it was a dog fight. It was a good game, and our motive here just to defend the fort. So losing that game was kind of like big to us. So going into the next game, we playing angry, and it's all about the culture, about what we do here at Austin Peay State University.
Starting safety Jaden Lyles had a big game with 13 tackles and an interception.
Past homecoming game, we lost, it ain't never fun to lose, but I feel like we learned from the loss, and we're going to come back stronger this week.
Even though the Governors came up short, they still played a great game against a top 10 FCS school. This Saturday, they play North Alabama at 4 o'clock. I'm Jerome Knight for APSU TV News.
APSU travels south to take on North Alabama this Saturday in Florence. Lady Govs basketball beat St. Mary of the Woods Wednesday 83-38 in an exhibition matchup. Freshman Brianna Rivera led the game in scoring after hitting 7 of 9 three-point attempts for 21 points. APSU begins the regular season Monday against Bethel at F&M Bank Arena at 5 in the evening. Our men's basketball season is upon us, and James Bonanno, A.J. Crowder, Trey Short talked to the team about this upcoming season. Austin.
Each year is different. The standard is the same. The profile of the roster is different. But we still have the same culture. Our culture is not fractured, and we still have the same pillars as servanthood, brotherhood, unconditional love. That's always our compass. Okay, we're not looking for a map and to get turn-by-turn directions. We look to our pillars, which is our compass, and we know what direction we're going in.
Athletic Director Gerald Harrison had his thoughts on the Govs this year.
Really excited. We had a great trip to Spain, played 3 great games there. Tennessee Tech, I love this team. I think they're going to be outstanding and fun to watch. A lot of defense, a lot of three-pointers.
Grad forward Cy Witt also has expectations.
My goal for myself is just to be a better teammate on defensive end, help my brothers out, just be a utility for the guys. For the team goal, we're trying to bring a ring. So I feel like if I bring my goals, rebound, defend, and just finish, do my job, help out my brothers, that'll help accomplish the team goal of winning the championship.
The Govs will start the season here at F&M Bank Arena on November 4th against Union. Hopefully to start the season off 1-0 for a second straight year. I've been Trey Short with your APSU men's basketball preview.
Austin Peay Soccer's 2024 season has come to an end with a 3-4 penalty kick loss to Bellarmine yesterday in the first round of the Atlantic Sun Tournament in Nashville. The Governors won last year's first-round matchup against Kennesaw State in penalties 3-2. APSU improved from 12 points in ASUN play last year to 18 points this season. Govs Hockey Club takes on the Kennesaw State Owls today and tomorrow in Georgia. Austin Peay gave up 19 power play goals in 8 games, and KSU scored 12 power play goals in 6 games. APSU returns to Clarksville for 2 games against South Carolina next weekend at the Ford Ice Center. Clarksville's Red River Spartans take on the Metro Jets 3 times this weekend at the Ford Ice Center. The 2 teams met once this season on September 21st, where the Jets beat the Spartans 3-6. Metro and Red River face off today at 7 in the evening. Austin Peay men's and women's cross country competes for the ASUN Championship today at Cecil Field in Jacksonville, Florida. APSU takes 3 weeks off after today's race to prepare for the NCAA Championships on November 23rd. That's all for sports this week. I'm Hugh Wheeler. We'll be back with more news after these messages.
Wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you as you bring our colorful stories to the world.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Well,
What'd you think of the whole, how was your vacation?
it was good. How was your vacation?
It was pretty good.
Fall break.
Pretty good.
Next week, tune in live for our Election Day coverage right here on YouTube and Facebook Live.
Yeah, I was pretty excited for the whole election thing. It's coming up quick.
It is. And for our Veterans Day program next week, all of our programs will be starting right here on November 4th at the Food Hall. Starting on November 4th, join us at the Food Hall from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for our annual Heroes Lunch. All students, staff, and faculty members, as well as MS3 and MS4 ROTC cadets, eat free with proof of purchase. On November 5th, it's Election Day. Let your voice be heard. Head to the polls, then tag us at APSU MVA with your I Voted sticker to celebrate your civic duty. November 6th marks the Newton Military Family Resource Center's 4th birthday. Stop from 1 to 2:30 p.m. for cake and a sneak peek at the 2024 Military and Veteran Affairs Patch. November 7th is our dual celebration day. Enjoy the Freedom Fuel lunch at the Fort Campbell Army Education Center from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and at APSU Veterans Upward Bound Celebration in Ellington 325. On November 8th, the Driven by Excellence BMW Block Party takes place at the Newton Center from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy test drives, lunch, and connect with your community partners. And finally, on November 9th, the BMW Tailgate wraps up the week with luxury cars, giveaways, and family fun from noon to 3 p.m. Plus, all veterans, service members, and their families get free entry to the APSU football game. Join us in celebrating our heroes throughout the week.
Get ready for an exciting day tomorrow, November 2nd, filled with activities for everyone. Here's what's happening around town. First up, we have the Clarksville Vintage Fair at Beach Haven Vineyards and Winery. The fair runs from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and offers over 130 vendors featuring antiques, furniture, and handmade goods. Admission is just $7 for adults age 13 and older. Plus, bring the kids for milk and cookies with Santa from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for an extra $5. Enjoy train rides, permanent jewelry, and mouth-watering treats from 10 food trucks, all while sipping on some delicious Beach Haven wine. Next, lace up your running shoes for the Clarksville's Half Marathon and 5K. Join us in downtown Clarksville starting bright and early at 7 a.m. Registration starts at $25 and up, whether you're aiming for a personal record in the Half Marathon or a speedy finish in the 5K. Or maybe you just want to join in the fun on a 1-mile dash. There's an event for every runner. Experience the beauty of our scenic parks and iconic landmarks as you race through our vibrant city. And don't miss the Corey Rash PBR Invitational at the F&M Bank Arena. The action starts at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are available starting at $38. Get ready for the heart-pounding excitement as professional bull riders take on the toughest bovine athletes. This is an event you won't want to miss. Finally, mark your calendars for the Veterans Day Parade happening next Saturday, November 9th. The parade kicks off at 10 a.m. with pre-parade ceremonies at 9 in front of the historic courthouse. Join us in honoring our brave veterans. That's your sneak peek at the exciting events happening in Clarksville. Enjoy your weekend and stay tuned for more updates.
We'll be talking about the election a lot today. Early voting ended yesterday on October 31st with a little over 50,000 votes in Montgomery County. Tuesday, November 5th is Election Day, and if you need to vote, polling places open at 7 a.m. and closes at 7 p.m. It is important to make sure you're in line by 7 p.m. to cast your vote. Voters are required to vote at their assigned polling places. Here at our APSU TV, we'll be covering our local election on our cable stations and through YouTube and Facebook Live. Hope you can join us from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Well,
that's all the time we have for today. We appreciate all of you for watching.
We got some, did you know that they're showing the White Christmas musical at the Traherne Theater? They're going to do that from the 24th, or the 21st to the 24th, excuse me. And it's coming up quick. Got some working on finals, huh?
Working on finals.
Lots of
it's
essays.
crazy to think that homecoming is finally done. Last week it came and it gone really fast.
Yeah, it was here and gone in a blink. That week was just gone. But yeah, I'm working on some essays myself for the study abroad exchange program we have here.
That'll be fun.
It's coming up.
We've already planned our classes here at Austin Peay for our spring semester, so classes are just flying by this semester. A month left.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, we're almost done with this semester. It's happened fast and it's been very educational. And
sports are coming to an end. We're starting winter. The time changes back this weekend. It's crazy.
And that's all the time we have for you today. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at APSU TV Clarksville, at Instagram at APSU_TV. Thank you for watching your APSU TV News Update. We'll be back next time. And as always, let's go Peay.